Here's everything that proves Jesus Christ's existence. I spent many years doing my research, and as a rational person, someone that holds value of logic, reasoning, and truth to the highest extent, I expected all atheists and non-believers to be looking for the truth, not just blindly taking in what they only want to hear. Because sometimes the truth isn't what you want to hear, but it's the truth and it should be heard. Now, when it comes to Jesus Christ, people question whether he even existed at all. And there's overwhelming physical evidence to prove that there is a God. And so let's go through it right now. Starting with Moses, we have found where we crossed the Red Sea. If the water was removed, this is the only spot where they could walk through. And then in the water, you will find the remains of the horses, the Egyptians, and the chariots dating back to that time period. And on the shores of Egypt, you will find the footprints of the Israelites that were cemented in by the fire that was brought down by heaven to guard them from the Egyptians. And then if you go into the wilderness, you will find the stone that Moses split for the water to pour out. If you go to Turkey, you will find the remains of Noah's Ark. How do we know it's Noah's Ark? Well, if you drill into it, it's not just a big mountain. If you drill into it, you will find the remains of petrified wood, man-made metals that can only be formed by man, not naturally formed, and petrified animal waste. And then leading up to the site of Noah's Ark, you will find the pillar stones, the anchor stones that were set loose as the ark was getting ready to land. And then further back, if you look at the site that is most likely Sodom and Gomorrah, you will find the remains of sulfur balls scattered all over the area, and there's no volcanoes in sight. That is all from God, from the heavens. And also, from recent discovery using the scientific method, we have discovered that human beings originated from two people. And then going into Jesus Christ, there's over 250,000 proclaimed documents of talking about Jesus Christ and his miracles and who he was outside of the Bible, from people that didn't even have a belief but saw the miracles and wrote it down. Every prophecy in the Bible has come true, making God mathematically impossible not to exist. Because if someone just said X and Y was going to happen, doesn't mean it's going to happen. But the fact that over a count of thousands of years, everything that has been said has happened. That's not random choice or random coincidence. That is by God. And I had concerns as a young child, thinking that perhaps these Bibles were all fabricated by a government in modern times to manipulate and control people. But from this discovery of the Red Sea Scrolls, we have determined that the Bible has not been modified. Now, there is a time period where the Bible has been slightly modified, and that's the King James Version, from a king that wanted to control the people by manipulating the word, so the people would be more obedient to the king. But since there is so many other available copies of the Bible that have not been modified, we can determine where the fallacies were placed in the King James Version. A rational person with an open mind and heart to truth and not to their blind arrogance of wanting to be right about something so they can continue on their lifestyle, will look at all this information and realize that God is the truth. The smartest man on the world with an IQ of 240 sincerely believes in Jesus Christ in his heart. You think you're smarter than him? It's been proven throughout time and history that there is a God. And I am walking proof that there is a God. When my mom conceived me, she had no fallopian tubes or a uterus, but I was still conceived. I am a miracle. I am an A-class miracle according to the priests. And this is all documented. My mother does not have fallopian tubes or a uterus. The doctor said that I could not be born, but I was still conceived in Bali. And in my adult ministry, I have had many miracles have happened. I've walked on water twice. When I gave food to the poor, it multiplied by 100. And I'm not crazy. I'm not deranged. But the moment I swapped from an atheist, a skeptic mind, of wanting to know the truth, to a person that sincerely believes in the Lord with no more skepticism, suddenly I am crazy or I'm stupid. But I have a high IQ. I know what God is, and he's reality. And denying that, you're the fool. There's overwhelming evidence for Jesus Christ, and I'm walking proof of it. Every day we're commanded to be like him every day. Be a carbon copy of him every day. Give to the poor, give to the needy, preach the gospel. Bring more people to Christ every day. And that's what I do. You know, I could be just like my family in Wall Street, living it up in Greenwich where I'm from, but I gave up my inheritance. I gave up everything. I walked away from it. And when I do get money, I make sure I give it out to the poor. I make sure I buy tents and supplies and whatever they need. And when I start a new job, I'll make sure I'm making a decent amount of money where I can always be able to give back to the community. It's about calling you to the Lord and what he asks of us every day. And the fact that I brought thousands of people to him, I am forever grateful that I've got to have that experience. So let's recap. We found where Moses crossed the Red Sea. We found the Egyptians in the sea. We found tablets in Egypt talking about the plagues that Moses brought. We found the sulfur bowls that could not be explained by any natural means. We found Noah's Ark. We found where Moses split the stone. And the fact that there's so many prophecies of the Bible that have happened and are going to happen. And the fact that we have proven that mankind has started from two people. There's over 500 witnesses that saw Jesus Christ rise from the dead. There's over 250,000 documents proclaiming Jesus Christ from non-believers, but witnessed and saw the miracles and wrote it down. And on top of that, during the time of his crucifixion, the sky went black because there was a solar eclipse going on. And if you use the NASA calendar, you can pinpoint where it was, and it was over Israel for the exact time period that was stated in the Bible of that time. And you can also find that there was a massive earthquake as well. All of this information, I hope, gets to you and you understand that there is too much evidence for God. And I am walking evidence as well. Now, you may scoff at me, you may even think I'm crazy or a liar or whatever. But the truth is there, dude. Whoever's watching this to the very end, I'm praying for you. It's never too late to turn to Jesus Christ. You are always in his forgiveness, but come to him with truly within your heart. Not try to test him to prove it, but come to him and genuinely want to be with him. Because what he offers is great peace. My life would have been a lot easier rejecting the truth and continuing on just working and dating and in my lustful ways with women. But I've given up my entire life and dedicated to Jesus Christ. And it's been so fulfilling. All my needs are always met. I never have to worry about anything. I'm always provided for. Even though it gets me locked up, I've been arrested about 100 times at this point and more for preaching the gospel, and I won't stop. And neither should you. Amen, brothers. Amen. Go in the highest with the Lord.
Holy